The fight everyone's been waiting for is finally official. Stevenson vs. Lopez is here and the boxing world is going wild. It's official, the fight we've all been waiting for is set. Shakur Stevenson will face Teofimo Lopez in a showdown that has the boxing universe buzzing. With the venue and exact date confirmed, the stakes couldn't be higher. Fans have been debating this clash for months, and now it's no longer speculation, it's reality. Both fighters are hungry, both are champions in their own right, and both want to leave a mark in the lightweight division.
The Ring magazine has announced the headliner for their Ring 6 card on January 31st, 2026. We've been hearing from Turki Al-Sheikh that 2026 is going to be a big-time year for the Ring magazine, and they're starting it off with a bang, as they have for the Ring magazine and WBO junior welterweight titles. It will be Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson, January 31st, live on DAZN. This one is one of the best fights we can make in boxing. We've heard for a while now this is a fight being worked on and being made, and now it's official, so it's time to break it down. Let's go.
Legendary boxer Roy Jones Jr. has also weighed in, praising this matchup for featuring two equally accomplished fighters at the peak of their careers. He described it as a fight that could define not only who is the best boxer today, but also reshape the legacies of both Stevenson and Lopez. According to Jones, the outcome has the potential to redefine each fighter's career trajectory and, in a broader sense, leave a lasting mark on the sport of boxing itself. With such high stakes, he called it a career-defining, era-shaping clash that boxing fans simply cannot miss.
Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez.
That's a good damn fight too. See, that fight is skill for skill, as good as this fight. But they just haven't been around long enough to prove themselves yet. But skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because of where they're in their career, because how accomplished they are. These two guys are also equal where they're in their career, but they're accomplished, but not as accomplished as these two. But they're still equal accomplished. You understand me? So those are two good damn fights and one boxing movie.
Wade Clemens reacted to the fight, saying it's not just a clash, it's like a chess game. A matchup that's been in the works for a long time is finally happening. Shakur Stevenson, with his impressive record of decisive victories, brings a significant challenge to the table. To Wade Clemens, this fight somewhat resembles the recent showdown between Brian Norman and Devin Haney. Anything can happen once Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez collide in the ring.
For a lot of reasons. Number one, we know that Shakur Stevenson is one of the most technically gifted and sound boxers in the world, and he can make you miss and make you pay. Mostly he'll make you miss, make you look silly, and outbox you on the way to a 12-round decision. You've seen his record. He's 24-0, not the heaviest of hands, 11 knockouts. We know he's had problems with his hands. But in this matchup specifically, it's going to be a chess match. This is not a fight you watch to see two brawlers go at it. Now, anything can happen. We just watched Devin Haney drop Brian Norman Jr. after thinking, okay, the ways in which Devin Haney can win this fight are strictly by decision, moving his feet, getting on his jab, and fighting defensive to offensive. And Brian Norman, the only way he can probably win is by knocking Devin Haney out. That isn't what we saw. We saw Devin Haney step on the front foot for some of that fight and drop Brian Norman.
This fight is now being labeled the fight of the decade. And the most important point, according to Wade Clemens, is that it features two fighters in their prime. To him, the matchup means a lot for both men. While Shakur Stevenson is known for his ability to switch from defense to offense seamlessly, Teofimo Lopez carries that natural aggressiveness in every punch. Nevertheless, Teofimo's title is on the line, while Stevenson has the opportunity to become a four-time world champion this time around.
But you would expect Shakur to be defensive to offensive. You'd expect Teofimo to be, he kind of does the same thing to a degree, but he's a little more offensive. I don't expect either guy to commit super heavy and get tagged by something or put themselves in massive danger, but this is going to, as Shakur said, show the levels of boxing, especially at 140. And can we just appreciate, by the way, not only these two fighters for accepting this fight in the prime of their careers, but the Ring magazine continues to put on these events where we're having fighters across the world, the best of them, fight the best at the right time. It's not the best fighting the best when they're in their mid-30s or pushing into their 40s, but we're fighting Shakur and Teo at 140 pounds with a lot of things on the line, including Teo's belts, including Shakur trying to become a 4-division world champ.
Meanwhile, renowned analyst Max Kellerman has also shared his thoughts on this matchup. Joining him, Malik Scott, who has been a sparring partner for legends like Alexander Usyk and Lennox Lewis, emphasized that this fight represents a new era in boxing. He sees Shakur Stevenson bringing toughness and tactical precision to the table, while Teofimo Lopez possesses the explosiveness that could give him an edge. In their analysis, they highlighted each fighter's unique abilities, making this matchup even more intriguing for fans and experts alike.
It's the type of matchups we always are asking for. When it comes to explosiveness, I would have to go with Teo. When it comes to actual rapid speed, I would have to go with Teo. But when it comes to body punching, when it comes to good timing, when it comes to craft, I would have to give all of that to Shakur Stevenson.
What do you think, Doug?
They're both boxers. I look at Stevenson as a versatile technician. I look at Teofimo. He's a boxer puncher, but his specialty is his counter punching. Listen, if Stevenson wants to be on his stick and move game, very difficult style matchup for Teofimo, and maybe not that entertaining to the fans.
Because Stevenson's longer.
Exactly.
Stevenson's defense probably the best in the game, and he's longer.
Great reflexes and timing, and so does Teo. That's why he's a great counter puncher.
Max Kellerman highlighted the uniqueness that Teofimo Lopez brings to the ring. He's a fighter who has faced very tough matchups, often taking on opponents that many others were avoiding. In Kellerman's view, the skill, speed, and power Lopez brings are simply exceptional. He's explosive, aggressive, and fearless, with knockout power in both hands. A fighter who can turn a fight around with a single punch. At the same time, there is admiration for Shakur Stevenson for stepping up to face Lopez instead of opting for an easier tune-up fight.
Yes. Teofimo is a two-division Ring Magazine champion. In both fights where he won the Ring Magazine championship, he was the underdog. 4-1 underdog against Lomachenko. People forget, Lomachenko was taking elite fighters in the lower divisions and they were quitting.
Yes.
He was beating them into some, they were like, I can't do this, right? And Teofimo beat him, right? He outboxed him.
Yeah, he didn't do it by physically imposing himself on him.
He outboxed him, he outfought him, he had speed, power, and then again against Josh Taylor at junior welterweight, he was the underdog, so he saves his best for his biggest moments.
Yes, and Max, and look, I give Shakur a lot of credit, right? Because we see fighters like Boots Ennis that want to do a tune-up fight at their first fight at the new weight.
Shakur Stevenson is known for his well-learned patterns and exceptional boxing IQ, while Teofimo Lopez is famous for his explosiveness. Both fighters bring qualities that make this matchup a true banger. When the fight was announced, they came together to discuss their upcoming clash. Lopez acknowledged Stevenson's skill and style, appreciating it, but also made a playful joke about Shakur's nickname, Suga. Stevenson responded in kind, signaling that he isn't going to make things easy this time around. While Lopez might think things will go differently when anyone steps into the ring with him, Stevenson is confident that he will show the difference without worrying about his opponent.
But his defense at that point was not Shakur Stevenson. He's not the same age. He doesn't have the same length. What are you thinking about that challenge?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think that it's just different when you're in the ring with me. You know what I'm saying? I think after years of doing this, there's always room for improvement, and that's what I focus on, most importantly. You know, this is a man that is well known with patterns, well known with his defense. He's focused on that. You know, sometimes the best defense creates that better offense, you know, so to speak. So, you know, it'll be great to see what I could do with a guy like Shakur Stevenson. You know, they call him Sugar. So let's see how I can make it sweet. Let's see if I can make it sweet.
I will say this though.
Ain't none of that happening in the game.
What happened? I thought it was Shakur Stevenson.
Hey, ain't none of that happening though.
Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez has already called out Terence Crawford as his next opponent after facing Shakur Stevenson, raising the stakes higher than ever. Showbiz, the analyst, pointed out that this matchup is one for the ages. Whoever wins would be seen as the leader of the next generation in boxing. He recalled how the Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis fight was once envisioned as the true test of boxing's future, and believes that the outcome of Stevenson versus Lopez will determine the best in the sport, with Terence Crawford potentially being the biggest beneficiary.
The only fighter who would be better than the victor come January 31st is Terence Bud Crawford. Yep. You know how they said Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia was for the face of boxing? This here is for the best in boxing. 100% is the Tyson best. Let me explain. Just think, I understand Usyk, Inoue, understand. Bam Rodriguez, David Benavidez, the best fighters. I do understand. But listen to me. Hear me out. I'm not talking about accolades. I'm not talking about accomplishments. I'm talking about who is actually the best.
If Shakur Stevenson defeats Teofimo Lopez at 140 pounds, his value in boxing would skyrocket. He would arguably cement himself as the best active boxer after Terence Crawford. Showbiz noted that such a victory would not only elevate Stevenson's status in the lightweight division, but also position him as a leading figure in the sport, setting the stage for potential mega fights and future legacy-defining matchups.
If Shakur Stevenson beats Teofimo Lopez at 140, if you consider his skill set, not just who he's fought, but his skill set, and then beating Teofimo Lopez at 140, he's actually the best fighter in the world outside of Terence Bud Crawford if he beats Teofimo Lopez January 31st. Considering his skill set, considering what he's displayed, listen, Shakur Stevenson is arguably the best pure boxer in the world right now. All right? If he beats Teofimo Lopez at 140, thinking about his tools, his skill set, everything that he's displayed, he's the second best boxer in the world today. And that's the Black Two Shookers.
The stakes for both fighters' futures are equally high. No matter who comes out victorious, it will be a defining moment in their careers. Showbiz, the analyst, believes that for Teofimo Lopez to beat Shakur Stevenson, he will need to come more prepared than ever. He points out that Lopez's recent fights have trained him well, suggesting that he might have what it takes to overcome a highly intelligent and tactically skilled fighter like Stevenson. This fight could truly test both men at the peak of their abilities.
Listen, forget accolades. And forget, not just considering his resume and who he's beaten thus far, but if he beats Shakur Stevenson, do you know how good Teofimo Lopez is going to have to be to beat Shakur Stevenson? That means he's learned from Jermaine Ortiz, his fight with him, when he didn't look par. His fight against Sandor Martin, all those times with Kambosos, that means that he's grown from those fights, learned from those fights, and gotten so damn good that he can beat the best pure boxer in the world today in Shakur Stevenson.
This fight is a classic clash of styles. Stevenson's technical mastery versus Lopez's raw power. Fans are already debating, can Stevenson outmaneuver Lopez's aggression, or will Lopez land that decisive shot early? It's a stylistic battle that has analysts buzzing.
Teofimo has been a bona fide world champion in 2 divisions. He was the champion at lightweight, had most of the belts, defeated Lomachenko. He did suffer the upset loss to Kambosos. There were some physical issues there that we didn't know about going into the fight, not to make excuses for him. But regardless, he came back and even though maybe he didn't shine and scintillate maybe in some of those fights after that, when it came time to step up and take on the champ, which was Josh Taylor, he shined in that fight. So when Teofimo is matched, in a big time opponent, he's delivered, and he's done it, a number of times. And he looked really good against Taylor. And Shakur, by the way, similar thing. He's been flawless through his career. He may be not the most exciting at times, but Shakur Stevenson gets the job done.
Analysts are praising Stevenson's smart approach, but warned that Lopez's power is no joke. Fans are flooding social media, with some saying this is the fight of the decade, while others argued Lopez is going to steamroll Stevenson.
He has won titles from featherweight up to lightweight. When his back was against the wall, quote unquote, and everybody had big expectations, and he had a lot of pressure on him not to make it a boring fight and all that kind of business. What did he do in his last fight against William Zepeda? He stood in the pocket, he fought the guy, and he won handily. He shut him out, basically. He won like 10 rounds to 2. I mean, he fought a unification fight against Oscar Valdez, a fighter that, even though he might have been favored, thought maybe Oscar could do some damage because he was a good puncher and had a great amateur background and a great chin and all those types of things. And he went out there and he routed him also. I mean, so, these are 2 of the best young elite fighters in boxing. And their fight has been talked about for a long time. They spent most of their careers together at Top Rank, which was a fight If you ever ask Bob Arum,
Fellow fighters are weighing in too. Some highlighted Stevenson's calm composure under pressure, calling him one of the most technically sound fighters today. Others tipped Lopez's explosiveness, noting his ability to change a fight in a blink. The boxing community is divided, and that's what makes this matchup so electrifying. Opinions are everywhere, and everyone wants to weigh in.
You know, the kind of Teofimo Lopez that shows up, the most dangerous kind, and I'm going to tell you why. Every time Teofimo Lopez has been counted out in his career, he puts on career best performances. There's been 2 times where Teofimo was supposed to lose and in people's eyes and people counted him out. Lomachenko and then Josh Taylor. Both times he came in and looked stellar. There are nights Teofimo underperforms when he's supposed to look good, and that's why he's an enigma. But this is the kind of night where he's going to be maybe an underdog. People are going to count him out. This is when he's going to come his most dangerous. If Shakur Stevenson beats this Teofimo Lopez, this is a big credit to Shakur Stevenson, but it's going to be a very big ask because Teofimo Lopez, when his back is against the wall, we've seen him put on his career best performances.
Experts are split, and that's part of the excitement. Stevenson's advantages lie in his defense, adaptability, and boxing IQ. If he can control distance and avoid Lopez's power shots and punches, he has a real shot. Lopez, meanwhile, thrives on pressure and explosive exchanges. One perfectly timed punch from him could be decisive.
Teofimo Lopez, don't run. Don't run. You ran from the Haney fight already, dude. Come on, don't run from this one, bro. For real, bro. Stop with all the antics, bro. I know you like attention, but damn. Get in there and fight against Shakur Stevenson, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. Stop playing around. Shakur ain't playing. Nah, Shakur ain't playing. No tune-ups coming up to see you in your weight, 5 pounds above 135. He can beat you. He knows how to beat you. That's what he believes in his heart, you know. Teo, you're talented. Yeah, you are, man. But damn, you talk too much and you don't back it up. That's the problem I have with you, you know. You can't be sitting here and trying to be the Ali of this generation talking all this trash.
Tim Bradley highlighted what this opportunity means for Shakur Stevenson, a fighter who is already a 3-time world champion. Taking on Teofimo Lopez gives him the chance to become a 4-time world champion, and the stakes make this fight feel like a classic. Bradley emphasized that both fighters have significant challenges ahead. Lopez has his task and Stevenson has his. He views this matchup as a battle between a highly skilled, calculated fighter and someone with a freakish, explosive nature, making it one of the most intriguing clashes in recent boxing history.
I appreciate Shakur Stevenson for stepping up and wanting to take on that task. I think it's one of those matches where you're sitting there and you're saying, how good is Shakur Stevenson? You know, how good is he? I hear a lot of people talking about him, but how good is he? You know, he's already accomplished or is a 3-division world champion already, 126, 130, 135. He has a chance to be, what, 4-division world champion already in his career? Man, I mean, look, I think it's a great opportunity, but the fight just has to happen. You know, style matchup, you got a defensive wizard versus I want to say, somewhat of a freak of nature.
Amid widespread opinions viewing Teofimo Lopez as the more aggressive fighter, Ryan Garcia offered a different perspective. He believes Lopez is actually a counterpuncher at heart and that the typical notion of relentless aggression isn't fully reflected in his style. Garcia pointed out that for Lopez to beat Shakur Stevenson, he would need to find a way to adjust, because Stevenson is already an excellent counterpuncher with a high boxing IQ. This means Lopez would have to actively chase Stevenson and find opportunities, making the fight a true tactical challenge.
Just because Teofimo likes to fight people that he could counter, and with Shakur he has to chase him. So it's not a good style matchup for Teofimo, but shit, if Teofimo finds a way, fucking kudos to him for sure. Because I don't see Teofimo being that aggressive, you know? He's aggressive.
Yeah, he's more like he throw his punches, not trying to hurt. He just trying to tag you.
Yeah, he's not very aggressive. He's more of a natural counterpuncher, but not an aggressive fighter. That he'll go get you if he has to.
But Shakur's the same way though, no?
Shakur's more of a counterpuncher, but he's gonna make sure that Teofimo chases him for sure.
On the other hand, Tim Bradley believes this fight features 2 insanely intelligent fighters. He highlighted the unique fighting styles each brings to the ring and asserted that there is no doubt it's going to be a battle from hell. Bradley recalled that Teofimo Lopez was the first fighter, even before Devin Haney, to beat Vasily Lomachenko. At the same time, he noted that the level of defense Shakur Stevenson brings to the table presents a complex puzzle for Lopez to solve, making this matchup a fascinating clash of skill, strategy, and power.
Every type of any offense that's going to be landed, it's going to have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez, explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bring into the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm gonna get mine when I get mine and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting nothing. So look, y'all might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This is going to be one hell of a technical battle that I can't wait to see.
This fight has been called the fight of the decade, with many viewing it as a matchup that could determine the leader of the next generation. Renowned trainer Robert Garcia also shared his thoughts, asserting that the stakes are high not only because of the styles each fighter brings, but due to also its potential impact on pound-for-pound rankings. He emphasized that the outcome will be decisive for each fighter's career, shaping their legacy as a boxer and champion. The framing of this fight has been enormous, with anticipation reaching unprecedented levels.
Both are very talented. Both are big names in boxing. I think it's awesome that we're getting this fight early next year, and it'll be one of those fights where the winner does become top 5, top 6 pound for pound guys in the world, because it is that good. Shakur, we all know, great talent, very smart in the ring, and Teofimo, tremendous heart, great skills too. He's already done it. He's already challenged himself against the best in his divisions, and it just makes it a great fight. That's the fight that I'm excited about for early next year. It's can't wait for it to happen, because it is going to be one of those fights where the winner does become top 5, top 6 pound for pound.
And that's a wrap on all the hype, analysis, and reactions surrounding Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. So, who do you think will come out on top? Stevenson's brain and precision, or Lopez's power and explosiveness? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest fight news, breakdowns, and exclusive insights from Ring Rivalry. This is one battle you won't want to miss.